Everybody, welcome back. This is Jason with devslopes.com, and in this video we're going to start building the last part of this skateboarding website, and we're going to add a footer in here. Alright, this guy right down here. So let's go ahead and inspect the element so we can understand the structure of this. Alright, and this footer is very simple. So we are going to, starting from the top here, we've got a class of footer on here, which simply just makes this a display of block, just something Bootstrap gives to us. And then we've got this BG inverse, all right, and that's what gives us the color. Remember at the top here, our nav bar, how we did a inverse color here, and it changed the color of the nav bar to this black. We're going to do the same thing to our footer at the same class, so the footer and the nav bar will match. And then check this out. We've actually built our own container inside of this, all right, and we put a container fluid so it spans the entire width. And the reason why we're adding a container to this is because a footer is kind of like an entity of its own, all right. You've got like the container where all the main content here is, and then you've got this footer, which is kind of, it's just different than the body. That's why we use one of the HTML semantics. We use the actual tag footer here, all right. And then inside of our container, we're obviously adding a row. And then we've got two columns here. All right, the first column is a width of 3. And then the second one is a width of 9. All right, and in the first column, we've just added an image. And in the second column, we've got some social icons here. These are called favicons. And we'll be learning about how to use those later. So let's start setting up this footer and get this thing built. Alright, so let's dive into brackets, and then right at the bottom here, let's see, we got the sections. It's going to be right after the section light with the buttons here. It's going to be right after the last div tag here, okay? So go ahead and let's add that footer. Alright, and then we're going to add a class to it, and we're going to give it a class of footer to keep it in a block element, and then we want to change the color, and this is a Bootstrap thing. And we can do BG inverse. All right, cool. And then go ahead and close that off. We'll open up the footer here. And remember, inside footers, we can put our own containers, all right, to help keep all the content together. So let's add a div class of container. And I'm going to use a fluid, all right, because remember, fluid containers expand the entire width of the viewport, whereas a traditional container centers content more in the middle, and then you have extra margin on the side. All right, so we're going to do a container here, and then we got to start off with our rows. So div class of row, and then we're going to add our columns here. So we're going to have two columns in this row. The first column is holding our image, and the second column is holding our social icons. All right, so we're going to create a div tag. And on a full width browser or on a mobile state, we want it to expand to the full width of the browser. And then we're going to add our column large of 3. All right. And then right inside here, I'm going to add our image. All right. So we've got our image, and I'm going to put that class, that Bootstrap class of image fluid, so it's responsive. And then we're going to add a source to it. And I've already got an image here for us in the assets folder, and it is this KFS small. All right, actually it's not that one. We've used this one already. I apologize. It's going to be the light one right here, the KFS light. I chose a lighter PNG to work with our dark background, and I'm going to just throw it in there. Now again, this image that I'm using, I have already sized appropriately to fit inside of my footer, so that the footer is the size that I want, so it has the height and everything. Before, this image was huge, and again, I just added that trick to it. I put a temporary class on it, so I literally went like this. I put size, and then over here, I did a size, and then like added a width of like 50% or something. All right, and then I inspected the element to see what the actual dimensions of the image was. once I got it right with adjusting it with this width, and then I went ahead and I resized the image. All right, so this is an example of what I did to figure out the size of this image that I wanted to use, because it was really messing up my footer at first. All right, and then we'll just remove this class here. So simple example. All right, so we've got our image in here, and we've got our column closing here. So let's just go ahead and create the second column where our social icons are going to live. All right, so let's do a call small 12 with a call large of 9. Okay, and we'll open that up and we'll leave it empty for now. And then, good, I got rid of that class. So let's check this out, see how it looks. I'm going to go ahead and launch this again. Scroll down to the bottom, and perfect. So we've got our image here, and it's created the height of our footer because of the size of the image. But now all we need to do is just add a little bit of padding around this, okay? So we can do that by coming back over here. Let's add our own class, and I'm just going to call this the footer image. Okay, go ahead and copy this, and let's add that class down here. And all we're going to do is simply add some padding, and let's try 10 pixels. See how that works. All right, let's come back over here and refresh. Cool, and that looks a lot better. I think I'm going to increase the padding just a hair, but this is looking great. All right, 15 pixels. I'm being picky here. All right, I like it. We'll leave it at that. So that wraps up this video. We have built a footer, added an image, and we've created our 2 columns, and we have prepared this column here so that we can add our favicon icons. So that's it.